Here we have LeetCode problem number 121, best time to buy and sell stock. So you're given an array of prices where each element in the array is the price of a given stock on a given day. You want to maximize your profit by choosing a single day to buy one stock and choosing a different day in the future to sell that stock. So that's an important note. It has to be in the future. And then you want to return the maximum profit you can achieve from this transaction. So if you cannot achieve any profit, just return 0. So if you get like a negative number as a profit, you just always return 0, right? So just visually, this is an example here, this array here. Visually, how would we solve it? So we would first find, the lowest price, right? And that's actually at index 1, right? So we know the lowest price is here, and then we want to find the highest price, right? Because basically, when you want to make profit buying and selling stocks, you want to buy at the lowest price and sell at the highest price. So could we sell at 7, which is the highest number in the array? No, we actually can't, because as I said earlier, it has to be a different day in the future. So visually, you would just find the lowest price, which is index 1, and then you would find the highest price, which is at index 4, right here, the highest price in the future. So you do 6 minus 1. That's how you calculate the profit, and then you get 5. 5 is the answer, right? So we're all good doing that visually. It's simple enough. So how would we do that in Java code? So one very easy and simple intuitive approach that you could do is a O of n squared solution, which is actually really bad, really slow, and I don't even think LeetCode would accept it, but it is quite simple. Basically, you'd have 2 nested for loops. The first for loop starts at the first element, then the other for loop checks against all the other elements that are past the element you're currently at in the outer for loop. So you would check the profit for this, profit for this, profit for this, then you would move the outer for loop, check the profit for this, for this, for this, and then you keep moving it forward, check every single possible combination of numbers. And that's O of n squared, and as I said, it's extremely slow. So how could we do this in O of n, right, with one for loop? So basically, all you want to do is you want to keep track of the minimum price seen. So I'll just call that min. You also want to keep track of the max profit. So I'll call that max p, max profit, and then min p, min price seen. Okay. So here we have min price seen. So and then as I said, it's one for loop, right? So you want to start here. You say, okay, since we haven't seen any prices, 7 has to be the min price seen. It's the first price we've seen, so we make that 7, right? And then max profit, as we said, the base is 0, so we always start it at 0. So then how do you check if there's a new max profit, right? You basically want to check at one index past where the loop is currently at. So that would be here. Then you want to take that and subtract it from the min price seen, which would be 1 minus 7 equals negative 6. And then all you do, you have a conditional check. Is this greater than the max profit? It's not. Okay, max profit stays the same. You don't have to change the max profit. So the max profit stays 0, right? And that's the first iteration of the loop, right? So the next iteration of the loop, we would obviously just move forward 1. And then I'm going to put star here. That signifies the min price seen. So at the very start of the loop, you want to have a conditional statement. It says, is this current element less than the min price seen? Okay, in this case, current element is 1. It is less than 7. So we want to set the min price seen to the current element, right? And then, as I said, the max profit is checked by checking 1 past the current element minus the min price seen. So as I said, we changed the min price seen. So actually, I'm going to put a star right here because the min price seen is now 1. So it's 5 minus 1 equals 4. So we also have, for the max profit, we have a conditional, obviously, that says, okay, is the current profit we just calculated greater than the max profit? In this case, it is. So we take that value, which is 4, and we change it, the max profit, to 4, right? So then we just iterate through the loop. Next iteration, we go here. Okay, is 5 lower than the min price seen, which is 1? Obviously it's not, so we keep the star here on 1 because that's still the min price seen. And then remember, we want to check 1 past the current element, so it would be I plus 1, so it would be 3 minus the min price seen. Is 3 minus 1 greater than the max profit? It's not, so the max profit stays the same. And then we want to continue the loop until we reach the end. We go here. Okay, is 3 the new min price seen? No, it's greater than 1. Okay, is 1 past the current element 6 minus 1 is 5 greater than the max profit? It is, so we just simply update the max profit. And then we're almost towards the end of the array. We just continue the same thing. Then boom, we reach 6. Is 6 the new min price seen? No, it's greater than 1. We check, is 4 the next element, I plus 1 minus the min price seen? 4 minus 1, is 3 greater than the max profit? No, it's not. Okay, and then we just keep the max profit, and then eventually we reach the end of the loop, and we can't go any further than here. So what do we return? We return the max profit. Return 5 in this case. Boom. That is the solution for this test case right here. And yeah, it's as simple as that. It takes a little long to explain if you go through the whole test case, but in the code it's actually quite simple. It's just one for loop with 2 conditionals in it. And yeah, that's pretty much it. You just keep track of 2, and you only need 2 variables as well, min price seen, max profit. And so I'll show you how to do it in Java right now. Okay, so here we are in our Java code for the problem, and remember, the first thing we want to do is declare and initialize our variables. So as I said earlier, there's going to be an integer variable for min price seen, and we're actually going to set it to the max integer value. And the reason for that is we always want the first element in the array to become min price seen. So when we loop through, there's going to be conditional. It's going to check, okay, is the first element here less than min price seen? If so, set min price seen to this element. And if it's a max value, that condition will always be true. So that's why we made it the max value, right? Then we need the next integer, max profit. So for max profit, we're going to set it to 0 because 0 is our baseline. If you find anything less than 0, like a negative profit, for example, then you just want to return 0. So that's why it has to start at 0. So as I said, this problem can be solved in one for loop. So we want to loop through the prices array. So int I equals 0, I is less than prices dot length minus 1. The reason I'm doing minus 1 is because I'm checking against the min price seen against the next element in the array. So if I don't do this, there will be an index out of bounds error. And then so I is less than prices dot length minus 1, and then we just iterate I. Simple as that. I want to loop through the for loop. So the first conditional statement is if prices at I, so the current element, is less than min price seen, all we want to do is set min price seen to the current element, which is prices at I. Simple as that. Then we want to do another conditional statement. If, and remember what I said earlier in the explanation, we want to check the next element. So if prices at I plus 1 minus min price seen, we'll just copy and paste it so a little bit faster. If that is greater than max profit, all we want to do is set max profit to the total of this calculation right here, the next element minus min price seen. So that will be the max profit. And if I'm not mistaken, that's pretty much it. It's just 2 conditionals within a for loop. And then we can return, obviously, max profit. And let's see if there's any syntax errors. Okay, looks good. And then we can submit. All right, that's pretty much it. This is the O of n solution, and it should be simple enough for you guys to solve. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. If you want to subscribe, please go ahead.